others after that? Why do you think anyone will help Delhi after you didn't help others over Ukraine? Thank you.
आजादी के बाद भारत ने कई विदेश मंत्री देखे, लेकिन एस जयशंकर वह पहले विदेश मंत्री हैं जो अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मंचों पर जब वह भारत के लिए बोलते हैं तो उनकी भाषा और बॉडी लैंग्वेज को देख के लगता है कि वह भारत के 140 करोड़ लोगों के गौरव, सम्मान और ज्ञान का प्रतिनिधित्व कर रहे हैं और भारत की मंशा पर उंगली उठाने वालों को ऐसा जवाब देते हैं.
Somewhere Europe has to grow out of the mindset that Europe's problems are the world's problems, but the world's problems are not Europe's problems. Increasingly call out countries and organizations and people who indulge in terrorism. And by taking that debate elsewhere, you're not going to hide it. You're not going to confuse anybody anymore. People have figured it out. If you have snakes in your backyard, you can't expect them to bite only your neighbors. Eventually, they will bite the people who keep them in the backyard. I would say that
mindset would that be right? From non-alignment to, I think you may have called it, or somebody else called it, all alignment. So you can pick and choose alliances, but you can also pick and choose topics. On Russia, for example, you still buy Russian oil. Is that okay with your counterpart from the US? Everything is, your relationship is fine, you can do whatever you want, whenever you want?
Okay, first of all...
you're sitting next to each other.
No, first of all, delighted to be here. And I couldn't find a better set of people to be with on the stage. So thank you for whoever put us all together. Your question, do we have multiple options? Answer is yes. Is that a problem? Why should it be a problem? If I'm smart enough to have multiple options, you should be admiring me. You shouldn't be criticizing. Now,
यही होता है जब आपके जहन में अपने देश के प्रति गौरव होता है और अपनी जनता के प्रति जवाबदेही. जयशंकर बार बार यह जताने से नहीं चूकते कि विश्व की किसी भी महाशक्ति को भारत अपना हित कॉम्प्रोमाइज करने नहीं दे सकता. अब देखिए जरा, जब पाकिस्तान के रिपोर्टर ने आतंकवाद के मुद्दे पे उल्टा चोर कोतवाल को डांटे की नीति अपनाते हुए भारत पर ही दोष थोपने की कोशिश की, तो कैसे पाकिस्तान को आईना दिखाया.
My question is, how long South Asia is going to see this terrorism and disseminating from New Delhi, Kabul, and Pakistan? How long they are going to be at war? Number one, and secondly, how about the UN Security Council resolutions on Kashmir? Does India abide by it or not?
You're asking the wrong minister when you say how long will we do this, because it is the ministers of Pakistan who will tell you how long Pakistan intends to practice terrorism. So look, at the end of the day, the world is not stupid, the world is not forgetful, and the world does increasingly call out countries and organizations and people who indulge in terrorism. And by taking that debate elsewhere, you're not going to hide it. You're not going to confuse anybody anymore. People have figured it out. So my advice is, please clean up your act. Please try to be a good neighbor. Please try and contribute to what the rest of the world is trying to do today, which is economic growth, progress, development. So I hope through your channel that message.
Yesterday we heard the Pakistani Foreign Minister Bhutto mention Kashmir in the UN Security Council meeting on reformed multilateralism. Another Pakistani minister, Hinarbani Khan, is talking about a dossier and allegations against India coming from a country that hosted Osama bin Laden. Your thoughts?
Well, I read the reports on what Minister Hinarbani Khan said, and I was reminded more than a decade ago, if my memory serves me right, Hillary Clinton was visiting Pakistan, Islamabad, and Hinarbani Khan was a minister at that time, and I think standing next to her, Hillary Clinton actually said that if you have, I'm giving you the sense, it's not an exact quote, that if you have snakes in your backyard, you can't expect them to bite only your neighbors. Eventually, they will bite the people who keep them in the backyard. But as you know, Pakistan is not great on taking good advice. and you see what's happening there.
How
In
do you
terms
think
of-
you'll be trusted by others after that? Why do you think anyone will help Delhi after you didn't help others over Ukraine? Thank you.
You know, it's an interesting question which you might, I mean, not you, meaning you personally, but people might want to ask themselves, because if I were to take Europe collectively, which has been singularly silent on many things which were happening, for example, in Asia, you could ask, why would anybody in Asia trust Europe on anything at all? You know, somewhere Europe has to grow out of the mindset that Europe's problems are the world's problems, but the world's problems are not Europe's problems.